Good evening, everyone. As you heard, I'm Ellen Stofan, the Undersecretary for Science and Research at the Smithsonian Institution. I am so honored to present the Sir Arthur C. Clarke Innovators Award to Mike Ulica and the National Geographic Society. This is a great intersection for me. As the former director of the National Air and Space Museum, we hold the papers of Arthur C. Clarke. Such a thrill to see his hand notations on his manuscripts. And I'm also currently a trustee of the National Geographic Society. I think we all have an image, that gold border of the National Geographic in our heads. If you're like me, National Geographic Society introduced me to the far-ranging corners of our world and sparked curiosity and imagination. I learned about places I had never been through determined explorers who dared ask the question why, how, and what's next. National Geographic Society has pushed physical and intellectual boundaries since the 1880s by questioning, learning, and questioning again. Almost 135 years ago, the National Geographic Society was established with a dedication to the increase and diffusion of knowledge, sharing a mission with my home, the Smithsonian. I bridge these two institutions, but what is so special is what unites us. Both institutions' simple and singular focus on learning. I've been surrounded by science my whole life. My father worked for NASA, my mother was a science teacher. And even though I was immersed in this world of science and technology around me, I wasn't sure I was meant to be a scientist because I couldn't see women who looked like me in the field. But we got National Geographic at home. And it was through looking at those magazines, seeing stories of foundational women scientists, that I started to believe that I could. Women like Jane Goodall and Mary Leakey, pioneers who were changing our understanding of the world. But at the end of the day, they were women just like me. National Geographic has always been at the forefront of storytelling and championing individuals who drive our understanding of the world forward, helping to inspire the next generation of explorers. But I'm prouder today to emphasize now that it's the next generation, it's the children of tomorrow who have a better understanding of what a scientist is because of the efforts of the National Geographic Society is taking. It shouldn't be revolutionary or innovative to prioritize diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion efforts, to be intentionally vocal about it, or asked to be held accountable for it. But now it is, and that won't always be the case. Right now, nearly half of National Geographic explorers are women, with 65% of their fieldwork done in their home country. Research has shown that diverse teams lead to better work. Investment in your local areas creates a feeling of responsibility to ensure the sustainability of our planet. The only way we can preserve the beauty and health of Earth, which National Geographic Society has taught us about for the last century, is to empower the everyday person with the tools to believe that they can make a difference. Imagine what another 135 years will give us. How much more will we learn? How much more innovative will the research become with the foundation of diverse voices and investment in every segment of our population around the world? It's this intrinsic itch to discover and learn that permeates National Geographic Society. I've had the pleasure of working with Mike Ulica since I joined the board in 2020. As president and chief operating officer at National Geographic Society, he helped orchestrate the Society's partnership with Disney. He joined Nat Geo in 2006 and previously served as the Society's executive vice president, chief operating and financial officer. Mike has had a long career in media, including at Discovery Communications and Time Life. His passion is making sure the Society is the best organization it can be so that it can focus on its mission of bringing the excitement of exploration to the world. Congratulations, Mike.
Please welcome this year's recipient of the Clark Innovators Award, the National Geographic Society, represented by its president and COO, Michael Ulica.
The Arthur C. Clarke Foundation tonight is honored to present the Innovators Award to the National Geographic Society. I will read the citation. For encouraging curiosity and supporting exploration that inspires humanity.
Well, thank you, Ellen. It's always nice to get introduced by your boss, one of my bosses. It's truly an honor to be here this evening and accept this award on behalf of the National Geographic Society. So thank you so much. You know, I've been with the Society for a long time, as you heard from Ellen, almost 18 years, and I'm a true believer in the work that we're doing is going to make a difference in the world. Many of you know the Society for its long history of exploration and innovation, a tradition that dates back over 135 years, when the Society and the magazine first started in 1888. And I like to tell this little known fact, but it wasn't until 1905 when the first photographs were published in the magazine. And it caused a few board members to threaten to resign as they thought this innovation was not scientific. Can you imagine the National Geographic magazine with no photographs? Impossible. This same spirit of innovation carried over to our leadership too. The Society's second president was the scientist and inventor Alexander Graham Bell. Yes, that Graham Bell. So from the beginning, our work was grounded in original storytelling, rigorous science, and trailblazing technology. And over the decades, we built on this commitment to ingenuity, consistently pushing boundaries in our quest to advance knowledge about our world and our role in it. We drove impact by funding and supporting National Geographic explorers, changemakers in science, exploration, conservation, technology, education, and powerful storytelling. We funded the legendary explorers like Jacques Cousteau and his breakthrough work in underwater filmmaking and photography. In 1955, the Society supported the now legendary voyage of Cousteau's made in the Red Sea in the Indian Ocean. The film made there, The Silent World, is arguably the most influential underwater documentary ever made and actually won an Academy Award. And this was the model, harnessing the power of innovation and exploration. It would become part of the fabric of our organization for years to come. Today, in the midst of this urgent global challenges, we know that we must continue to innovate and drive change at scale to make a more meaningful difference in the planet and its people. Over the last decade, we've taken a number of steps to strengthen and evolve our organization. We've sharpened our strategy, which we call NG Next, and it deepens our focus on explorer-led programs, focusing on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and partnerships for scale. Secondly, as a global nonprofit organization, we continue to evolve our model and double down our commitment to our mission, which is to use the power of science, exploration, education, and storytelling to illuminate and protect the wonder of our world. At the National Geographic Society, we often say that science and exploration are our foundation, and storytelling and education are our superpowers. It is our belief that when people understand our world and have an emotional connection to its natural and cultural wonders, they'll take action to support and protect them. As Jacques Cousteau once said, we only protect what we love. This multidisciplinary approach, led by our global community of National Geographic explorers, is absolutely vital to addressing today's growing challenges like climate crisis and the staggering loss of biodiversity. Together with our explorers, we're asking some of the most important questions, like how is the planet going to change over the next 10 years, the next 100 years? What about new technologies like AI and others that are unleashing a new age of exploration? And what are discoveries that we're advancing our understanding of humanity, and how do we engage tomorrow's leaders to drive change? Explorers hold the key. They are the experts and innovators on the front line. And here's a look at who our explorers are today. Can we please roll the video?
If I was an explorer,
I would wake up, put on my gear,
put on my hijab.
binoculars, a hat.
I would take my tools to investigate.
I'd put on my spacesuit, and then I'd shoot off into the stars.
If I was an explorer,
I'd climb into a rocket.
I'd fly to the sun. I like to go to the places that most people usually don't go to.
Explore my city.
I'd tell stories to the world with my photos and videos of my experiences, my discoveries. I'd go to the depths of space.
The bottom of an ocean.
If I was an explorer, I wouldn't care about getting dirty.
I would discover and analyze different things that have never been seen before.
I'll discover new species.
I would take my findings back to the lab.
To build things, create new things.
I'd find a cure for cancer.
I'd recycle our trash to build buildings.
I make the world a better place.
Maybe an explorer is all about understanding this world better.
To show the world a different way of seeing.
To venture into uncharted territory.
My name is Arthur Huang.
My name is Hannah Reyes Morales.
My name is Dominique Demille Correa Gonçalves, and this is what an explorer looks like.
It's truly impressive. So when we think about innovation, I want to just share a few of our explorer stories that truly are moving the needle in exciting and transformative ways. Starting with explorers Baker Perry and Tom Matthews. In May of 2019, along with a team of scientists and Sherpas, they summited Mount Everest to further understanding of climate change in the high mountain systems. And one of the feats that they did when they were up there is they installed the highest weather station on Earth, on top of Mount Everest. And there's explorers like Azo Raskin, a mathematician in dark matter physics. Azo was co-founder of the Earth Species Project and the Center for Humane Technology. He also uses machine learning to decode animal language, from cows to dolphins to monkeys and beyond. And if successful, these efforts would transform the way humans engage in the natural world. And if you're looking for someone to either thank or complain about your infinite scrolling on your devices, Azo was part of that innovation. And there's also explorer Morai Jaw, a space environmentalist and astrodynamicist. Try to say that a couple times. Morai is helping the world to understand orbital space is a finite resource in need of protection because of all the objects we put up there, like satellites can stay for a very, very long time or forever. He's working to calculate and aggregate data using machine learning to better assess the so-called space junk and who is responsible for it. The society is equally laser-focused on igniting the next generation of explorers that steward for our planet. We're encouraging young people around the world through initiatives like our Young Explorers program, which supports changemakers in their early careers, and our Slingshot Challenge competition, which invites 13 to 18-year-olds to submit a 1-minute video outlining a novel and innovative solution to an environmental problem in their own communities. It's energizing to see these upcoming stewards of our planet dreaming big and demanding change. And as we know, innovation never stops. So we have a whole new chapter in store, bringing the society's impact to a next level. As we speak, we're reimagining our headquarters in Washington, D.C., transforming our campus into our new home of the explorer. Our reimagined campus will become state-of-the-art, a D.C. destination, opening in 2026, so we can engage a million more people with our mission and our work with our explorers in person and virtually. Now, in closing, I think a quote by Sir Arthur C. Clarke, which was, "The only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible." It is relevant today as much as it was when he first phrased it. In 2001, Sir Arthur Clarke had a feature in the National Geographic magazine called Beyond Gravity. In it, Clark talked about witnessing an experiment on weightlessness, as the belief was that one day there would be travels to other worlds. That was in 1939, 3 decades before the first moon landing. He closes with an article with the idea that future space travel, including orbiting of Mars, which is already in existence today. Innovators shape our future. At National Geographic, we have learned to trust the innovators' vision, empower them, fund them, champion them, create an ecosystem they can thrive in, give them opportunities to collaborate, and celebrate them a lot. Thank you very much.